ALBARAA.FM, your campus radio.
What's that? Oh. Hi, AAA's followers.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone, and welcome to my second show of Friday Night Live.
Let's go!
What's up? Ooh, I apparently I need to really bring down the microphone volume. I'm very sorry, guys.
Hello?
Yeah, we're all good now. Can you guys hear us? Everything is fine?
Hello.
All right, everything is good. Yeah, just like with our previous show, we're going to have a lot of fun, cringy moments because you guys, I don't think you've watched the last one. Last one we had some technical difficulties where we couldn't go to break and it was extremely cringy.
No, I know about that. Oh, wow. You know about that.
So, yeah. So today, guys, you guys probably know, or you don't. I'll just say anyways. Friday Night Live. We're in this show. We like to talk about all the fun topics that people don't usually talk about. Not exactly controversial, just fun topics. And we want to talk about it in a fun way, not necessarily a very serious way. So there you go. And here we have in the studio with me three of my good friends here. We have, starting from my right side, we have Zam from SRC, Zamil.
Hello.
And then next to him we have Lim.
What's up?
And then we have Mustafa.
What's up, yo?
Yeah, awesome. So,
And Nabila.
Nabila, she's in the studio with us. Yes, definitely.
But nobody can see her right now.
Wait, am I in?
In that one, maybe.
You might be in that one, but yeah. She's in the studio with us and she's helping me out. So what? Thank you, Nabila.
No problem.
So for today's show, we're going to be talking about culture shock.
Culture shock.
Yeah.
Did you hear yourself there?
And before we
fun,
do
though.
that, I
I wanna
want
read
you guys to introduce yourself. So starting from my right side, we have Zam. Go ahead.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Zamil Amin bin Mohammed Nasir. What do you want to know?
Name, Kuliya.
Okay, like normal. Okay, so I'm studying major in... what? My major is in psychology in Iium. I'm in my 4th year. I'm Malaysian, but I was born in Dubai.
Cool.
Yeah, so-
It's a little bit opposite to me. I'm an Egyptian, but I'm born here in Malaysia.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we're gonna have fun stuff to talk about.
Wait, you can talk about Malaysia.
Yes.
Oh, Musto, you can talk about Malaysia.
Okay.
Okay, introduce yourself.
We have Lim here.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Assalamu alaikum. It's Lim here, a Chinese. I wasn't born in Malaysia, but I was raised up here.
Cool.
It has been like 16 years, I guess.
Whoa, okay. And he speaks Malay too.
And yeah, not a bit, actually a lot.
Dude, the guy speaks Malay and Cantonese.
Right, I'm in RK, Quran Sunnah, so far.
So far.
Alhamdulillah. And I think that's it, right?
If you want to add
it's
anything about yourself. go
Third
ahead.
year, and I'm older than I look.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Wiser than
That's a
you.
very mysterious thing that you said, statement. Yeah.
All right.
So my name is Mustafa.
Uh-huh.
Mustafa Sano,
Yeah.
from a country in West Africa
Yeah.
called Guinea Conakry.
African.
I was born here in Malaysia, General Hospital,
Uh-huh.
which is very close by. Anyways,
What's it called? Might be the same as mine.
what is it?
HKL?
HKL, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was in Pusrawi, so.
Oh my god! And it's like when you pass by, you're like, I don't know. What do you feel like when you pass by the place you were born? Do you pass by there?
I'm like,
I don't even know which
you feel
hospital.
like, and I was born here. Like the nurses are here. So that kind of feeling, but I don't know. Anyway, so I was born here, and all my life I've been here. I study communications, public relations, my specialty,
cool.
and this is my last semester.
Hey, we
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
nearly graduating.
Nearly graduating.
Like what's it called? Senior? Like
I guess he is.
what's the like? Don't we have like a term here?
An Exeter.
I think you just made that up. But
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Awesome. So, all right. Like I said, we have our first topic for today. It's going to be about what's it called? Culture shock, right? So, I want to like Like
Culture shock.
I'm pretty sure all of us here have experienced it to somewhat extent. Like I know I experienced it when I went back to Egypt, even though I'm Egyptian. Like because I was born and raised here in Malaysia, I was more used to it here. But then when I went back, I really had a tough time. So I really want to hear what you guys have experienced with this. And I wanted to hear your experience, to be honest, Zal, because you know
Okay.
you're also like similar, like opposites
Yeah.
of my scenario, but similar in a way.
So because I came from Dubai, is it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so once upon a time I was born in Dubai, and so in my school it's like mostly internationals.
Yeah.
Everyone is speaking in English or Arabic, but mostly English.
Okay.
Because I mean, they understand. I mean, if there's like American people, British people, they all speak English.
Yeah.
So the rest of the school would speak English. And then, so the culture shock part, you mean coming to Malaysia, right?
Probably is going to be for you coming to Malaysia.
Yeah, that's one of them. So, yeah, for the first year, actually, it was kind of hard for me to make friends, man.
Wow.
But
As a Malaysian?
as a Malaysian, yeah.
But do you
One of them
consider
is-
yourself Malaysian?
That's the thing. But then, I mean, it's like the weakness is that I don't speak Malay. But then
Wait,
over
wait,
time,
you don't speak Malay?
yeah. My Malay's not that good,
Okay,
man.
but wait, at home, how
Yeah.
how are you speaking?
So my parents speak to me in Malay. I reply in English.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like Ahmed.
Somehow. I guess so.
It's actually a little bit like me.
No, but
because,
you can speak.
I can speak Arabic, but then with my sisters, I usually do converse in English.
Yeah.
Actually, and actually, like me, also in the case that I was born and you know, I lived here for most of my life, and I still don't know that well.
I
I
see.
Malay that well. So,
But
yeah.
Lim, how do you converse with your parents?
I don't really speak Mandarin, but I speak my accent. So which is completely different than the Mandarin.
Okay.
My Mandarin is pretty bad.
Wait, well, what's again? Like your accent, as in like.
Okay, let me give you a simple example, alright?
Alright.
So when we say me in Chinese, in Mandarin we say 我, right?
Okay.
But in my accents we say no.
Like in
More? No.
by your accent,
So-
do you mean an accent that you've made up for yourself?
No.
or
It's
like-
not myself. It's basically the states they are talking in that way.
Okay.
So
Wow. Okay.
pretty just different.
Yeah.
But where are you from in China?
I'm from Gansu.
And that's far away from Beijing? 'Cause I
That's
only know
really far away from Beijing.
Okay.
It's in which.
I'm near. Actually, it is near to the Tibet mountains.
Debate.
Tibet.
Tibet, yeah.
And where's
Tibet
Tibet?
mountains? It's on the.
If
It's
you-
near to the Russia, Mongolia,
Okay.
like Chinese Mongolia
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
inside,
So to
and
the
then
north,
it's a little bit far from there. A little bit like on the west side.
I'm
Right?
not very
west
good
side.
with geography, but I'm gonna guess
Yeah.
that you're talking like North China.
Dude, I don't know anything about Chinese geography, so just
But is it like north or south or west? Which side of China?
people asking me,
Yeah.
is it north, south? I'll just tell them upper.
Upper, north.
It's in the up.
That's
Yeah.
good.
North. Good to go. Khalas.
So yeah, what I was saying, like
Yeah.
the language thing made it a bit difficult for me because in CFS, majority Malay.
Yeah. That,
But I think over time, the fact that I don't speak Malay became like a strength for me. As in, it's like something that you can talk about. Then I think I made friends without knowing Malay. I think to this point, I still don't know Malay because
Interesting.
I don't have the need to speak Malay yet. Yeah.
Okay.
In a way.
That is
Yeah.
very interesting. To
But
know.
you understand it fully.
Oh, yeah.
No, I would say 60%, 70%.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good enough, but to reply, no.
If someone's bad mouthing you behind your back, would you get what they're saying?
Well,
That's
that's
very yes.
well, let me say about that, right? Okay, so if you know that every time you start learning a new language,
Yeah.
the first thing you will learn is the
Is the
bad
bad
words.
words.
So,
Dude,
so that's the thing. You will know that people is talking
Dude,
something
and
about you.
Even yesterday I was talking about I'm like a true beginner. What is a true beginner in any language? In any language, a true beginner is when you know the bad words.
Yes, yes,
Only-
exactly.
only.
Yeah, you
exactly.
have bad words.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
I have to
It's
agree.
when you know the bad words. In Arabic, I learned the bad words first.
Yeah, me too.
I
Me
learned
too.
the bad words first. You know? So that's
So-
a true beginner.
Would you actually like if someone is like saying, "Oh, this guy, I don't want him in our team," stuff like that?
Look, I don't think I've experienced that, but I've seen because I can understand language, I can see like Malaysians talking about non-Malaysian badly. I'm like, oh my god, that's so bad. What are they doing? And like, even though it's a different language, you know that the international student can understand in general what they're talking about me,
The
right?
gist, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that in like shops. Like the Malaysians are saying something about his accent or something in Malay, and you can see the reaction on the international.
Can you
Yeah,
talk
And I
Malay
see,
right now?
I
Can you
see
talk-
it a lot.
yeah.
Can you talk like some sentences?
in Malay? No, I don't want to, man. No, it's
want to
okay.
hear about that.
You know, I've been with Zamil for more than 5 years. I've never
Oh.
seen him speak Malay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like kind of hoping he would say some
No,
sentences
no.
now, but interestingly.
This is definitely an interesting.
Yeah.
I like that I knew that.
Yeah.
So I'll switch here to Lim. Lim,
Yes.
what have your been what blah, blah, blah. What are your experiences with
Culture shock, right?
Like,
Actually,
Like,
I never
let me-
knew
let me
about
add,
China.
sorry.
Yes. Okay.
would you say you experienced it when you, like you said you were born and raised here in Malaysia, right?
Yes.
So would you say you experienced it when you experienced it when you go back to China?
No, actually, there's two places that I got the culture shock.
Okay.
Firstly, that I was in Kelantan for good 10 years.
Okay.
So, and I was in a boarding school,
Mm.
like which is like sisters, brothers.
How-
Like
how
we
come
call
you're
it
in
like
Kelantan?
we call it. Actually, it's a long story. This is a very long story. I came here when I was about 6 to 7. I
Okay.
forgot already.
Mm.
And I went to ALBARAA here
Oh, I
Oh,
don't-
yeah,
for a
yeah.
while,
Oh, wow.
and then I finished my
High school.
elementary and I went to Kelantan.
Okay.
So basically, I was in Kelantan for like good 10 years.
Okay.
So you know the situation in Kelantan, which is like, you know, you don't talk to girls. When the girls come to you, you
Yeah,
close your
it's
eyes and you go look down.
It's super religious in Kelantan. In Kelantan.
Yeah, because at that moment, it's something like that, you know. And then all of a sudden, I was working in Kelantan also in the school. I was teaching for 2 years.
Yeah.
Then I had to, you know, like have a communication or like
Yeah.
connections with the other gender. So that's a little bit weird for me in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I got the offer letter for URA.
Yeah.
That's the start point of
We all-
my
we all know
culture
that.
shock.
Oh.
Yes, and I came to URA. You know before, if you ask everyone in Kelantan what is how is URA, everybody will say like, oh, it's Islamic University. Like everything is like Islamic. You go there. Like, you know, just like a Kelantan, a small Kelantan in KL.
Okay.
So we're like, oh, that's cool. Let's go. And actually, I applied for Medina and I didn't get it. So I go to UAE.
All right.
I came to UAE. The first day in UAE group binding in the coming week,
Oh.
I sit at the table with a lot of girls. I was like, oh my God, what should I do? Should I talk? Basically,
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
No, basically, I didn't talk a lot.
Lim, how are you?
I didn't talk a lot. All right. I didn't talk a lot because in the beginning I came to UI, my English wasn't good. You know, you're straight from Kelantan.
Yeah.
Kelantan they don't teach English a lot.
Okay.
So my English, everybody was asking me, let's go play games, let's do this. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't speak English.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that time I got my, you know, like when you go inside UI and then you meet a lot of international students.
Okay.
And then my point is that I don't know if it's a good thing or not because in the beginning I said in my mind that I'm going to learn English through the internationals.
Alright.
So no Chinese friends, no Malay friends.
All right.
So I learned English in the same times. I got the culture shock from them, especially the Indonesians. The Indonesian totally changed me. The Indonesian my first semester here, I'm hanging out with Indonesians 24/7.
Okay. But
Wow.
I have a
then
question.
yes.
Did you, like, with all due respect, of course, but you felt that you're going to learn better English by interacting with Indonesians?
That's racist.
Yeah.
Wait, okay.
It's just not their first language. so-
Actually, we are in. I was in Selpad, so in the class we have Chinese, Indonesian, but mostly Indonesians, and there's two Arab guys.
All right.
Then these two Arab people, they don't really hang out with us.
Yeah.
So at that time, I don't have really friends. I don't have like much friends.
Alright.
So the Indonesians willing to be my friend. So I was like, okay, welcome. So we start
You're
learning
missing
English.
out. The other countries,
Yeah.
you're missing out. This is Lim here. Excuse me. Hey, Indonesian, what's up? What's good?
We learn English with each other actually,
Alright.
and then they give me something that I never had before when I was in Kelantan.
I
So
want to
my
ask,
mentality totally changed.
what was the thing that shocked you the most?
Wow, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Okay.
Actually, you know that there's one two Chinese friends that I was friend with. I still friend, still now we're friends. But they straight from China, and their mentality is like it's like
hardcore Chinese.
like hardcore Chinese, you know.
I see. Okay.
They were asking me like, oh, let's go. You know, there's a place called Bukit Bintang, right? I was like, oh yeah, I know that, but I've never been there. To be honest, I've never been there before.
Allah, damn.
And then
Okay.
I went there only one time because my auntie came here. She wanted to walk around there.
Okay
You
then.
know, and then I was like, well, let's go hang out. I was like, okay, let's go. And then at that night, starting from that night, they was like, oh, we have these two sisters want to come with us. I said, all right. And then they pulled out. They went to pick them up. Then they were coming in the car with hijab, with abaya and everything. One straight we go out from UAE in the gate.
Oh my God.
They Haitian, you know.
Attention.
Okay.
They're like Power Rangers. They're just Haitian. Changed to something else.
man.
Which is
I've seen that happen actually on airplanes, like coming from Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. I've seen
But
that.
yeah, no, but it's just different people, you know. I would just see it because I'm sure you had that culture. Like, you see people more different. You see people more different,
Yes.
especially when the way, because Clinton, I'm sure they're more Islamic, even
definitely,
more
yeah.
like internal, and there's less digital, there's less internet. I think in in KL, based on my experience, my Clintonese friends have been telling me like a lot of like so many differences. You know, you can't even wear pants longer than your
Exactly.
knees
Yeah.
in Kelantan. You know, so that's
That
what I
is-
heard. You know.
You know when you wear something short in Kelantan, when you walk in Kota Baru, you walk in KB Mall, people will be like, what the hell is that?
No,
Why
that's
are you
very
wearing that
interesting
thing?
for me to know.
Like, you know? But the second time, like,
Like, even if it's a guy.
yeah. It's like something, when I was in Kelantan, it's like that, you know? It was like 5 years ago. And then when in UAE, until now, I'm used to it. But now I can, you know, when I know what is...
Yeah.
The time when you got culture shock, you don't know what is right or wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Like, you
true.
just go with it.
Yes.
And then people influence you, and then you were just like, okay, this is right thing to
cope
do.
with it.
Yeah, you go with it.
And speaking about that, and on a very interesting point, I think me personally, I struggled with personal identity, cultural identity.
Yes.
Because I'm at home, I'm 100% Guinean. My mom speaks to me in Guinean. We don't speak any other language at home other than Guinean. That's Mandinka. And then I leave the house, I go to school, and I speak English at school. And then I moved to Saudi school, so I speak Arabic there. That was another school. So I speak Arabic there. And when I come back, I speak Guinean, but at 5 p.m. I'll go and play football. I speak Malay. So where am I from? You know? Like, I'm speaking different language and I'm dealing with different cultures.
I actually want to switch to you now, actually.
Yeah.
So, like, when did you come actually to Malaysia?
So I didn't come. I was born here.
Oh, right, you were born
Yeah,
here, my
yeah.
bad. So, when you go back to Guinea, did you have a problem?
100%. I did. I
A
did.
problem?
Because I would deal with Guineans in my country
Yeah.
like an Arab. Or
Okay.
I would deal with people in my country like a Malay. And if you smile a lot in Africa, they'll be like, what's
Yeah,
wrong with this guy? Is this guy
exactly.
okay?
That's
Oh,
You know?
exactly.
And in Malaysia here, smiling is courtesy.
Yeah.
Smiling is something good, you know? And another thing that is very interesting, I realized one thing, and I'm 100%, first of all, like you said, just like Lim said, he said something very interesting. He said he just followed what is right. Because the right thing is always the right thing. When something is right, it's always the right thing. Not your own biased right thing, but most of the time, the right thing is always the right thing. Or in other words, principles, like respect. Respect is universal. No matter how you show it, but respect, people will recognize it when they see it.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah.
Yeah. Honesty, same thing. Honesty and truth, oh, definitely. And then courtesy or kindness. Kindness, everybody will recognize it when they see it.
But
you know?
not everyone responds to it.
Nobody
Yes,
responds
yes.
to it. Yes. So that's also the point in terms of response. But
Yeah.
in terms of universal truth, that 100%. By the way, I had to go and search my origins, obviously, because I was struggling. Where am I originated from? You know, where am I originated from? But these three things, or I'm coming to the fifth. I'm coming to the fourth one. The fourth one, contribution, service, helping out people. You know, giving sadaqah and all this thing. That is 100% true. No matter whoever tells you, like culturally and this thing, we don't do this, we don't do this. No, all cultures do it. Everybody does it. It's universal. It's only your
guess,
choice for you to not do it. It depends on you.
Yeah.
That is
And then the
actually a
last
good
one,
point.
fairness. You gotta be fair, and everybody knows between the difference between right and wrong. You know, there's nobody who can debate what is right and wrong. Like in terms of like fairness, in terms of there's balance or imbalance. So those 5 things, I've decided to live my life by that. those 5 things. I decided to live my life by that, and no matter what happens, nobody can argue against those 5 things. So that's why anywhere I go in the world, I'm like, okay, I have these 5 things.
Yeah.
I have to be kind to everybody. I have to be fair when I talk. I have to be fair. I have to be honest when I talk. I have to respect everybody when I talk. And then the last one is
Justice.
I forgot, but it contributes. I need to help. I need to help other
Alright.
people. So yeah.
So on those from those 5 points,
Yes.
has any one of them backfired?
So usually kindness backfires because some
Okay.
people, yeah. So people sometimes you become kind,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah,
then,
they're
and then
too
they don't-
weird, like,
yeah,
it's
they'll
too
be like,
weird.
what's going on?
Do you have
Especially
a story
yes.
you'd like
So
to share
funny
about
enough.
that?
So when I went to Guinea, I was smiling a lot. How are you? You know, Malaysia, how are you? Good. You know, in my country, you do that. They'll be like, is this guy crazy? Usually, crazy guys do that.
Yeah.
It's actually same in China.
In China, yeah.
When you
so-
go around, you smile like that, and you, how are you? And they be like, what's wrong with you?
they'll be like, you're definitely crazy. Even the Russians.
Yeah, I
Russians.
know that. I know for a fact about Russians smiling to Russians is they'll find
Yeah,
creepy
you might be
or
very
like-
crazy.
They gotta
so,
be thinking,
funny
yeah.
story, I was going in my country and
Yeah.
we were in a very critical situation. And I was trying to show my courteous behavior by smiling, you know, to the cop. There's the police.
Oh boy.
I was like, you know, so actually we're doing this, you know, and everything. Like, you know, I'm sure everything's going to be fine, you know. And I was like, you know, pushing the smilers and everything. Then my cousin, like, after we got out of there, my cousin was like, so the police made us fine. We had to pay the fine, everything. He didn't care. You know, we even got more angry while looking at me smiling. He's
Oh
like,
my-
who's this guy, first of all? You know? He's like, who's this guy? Yeah.
How dare he be happy, man?
Yeah, it gets him very angry. Yeah, it gets him very angry. He's like, what is this guy smiling at me? And I'm mad at you. The police guy was like mad. I was like smiling, you know, showing that, you know, I'm sorry, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in my country, by the way, when you're saying sorry, you have to be in a strict face. You have to show that strict face and say, I'm sorry, you
I'm
know,
sorry, sir.
or you gotta show that. But in Malaysia here, I'm like, I'm sorry. You gotta show a little bit of smile, you know, to
Yeah.
create the calmness. So as soon as we left and my uncle paid the fine, he was like, Mustafa, what were you doing? Yeah. I'm like, what did I do? He was like, why were you smiling, man? He looked at me. He looked at me, and I was like, I was just smiling because so that he can just.
Were
let
you
us know,
forcing
know?
the smile?
Yeah, I was smiling. So he was.
No, were you forcing the smile?
It was
faking
like-
it,
well,
definitely.
even
getting a fine, so
yeah, I was getting a
gonna go
fine, you
with
know.
it.
So I was trying my
Yeah.
best to, you know.
Okay, okay.
To make
So-
himself feel comfortable.
Yeah, you know. So my uncle got so angry. He was like, "Why are you smiling?" He's like, "Yeah, you know how you look like when you smile? You look like a coconut with this thing." He started creating some this thing. I'm like, what? He's like, really? He's like, I know in this different culture, but in Guinea here, when you're trying to ask for something, you don't smile that way. Or this thing. So it backfires, but truthfully, I would debate and say that no, actually, when you smile, it's all about the intention behind it. So if the intention is truly kindness, it does not have to do with you. It does not have to do with
Yeah,
you. It
yeah,
has
yeah.
to do with me more.
That's true.
You know.
So it's with
So-
yeah.
But
So I'll always be
Does it-
kind to everybody.
true, but it doesn't travel well. So keep
Yes,
in mind.
sometimes I have to watch out, like
Yeah.
in context. I have to make sure the context is right in
That's
the
true.
location. So yeah, that was
You know,
it.
because of his story that it means that I have a lot of Malaysian personalities, more than Chinese.
Ah.
Because I've been raised up here, we're living with Malays, so I got that Malay personalities.
Yeah.
When I go back to China, every day my grandmother will tell me that I know that I'm doing these things very fast.
Yeah.
For me thinking I'm doing it very fast, my grandma is still telling me that you're doing so slow. Do it so slow, do it fast, do it so slow. And I'll be like, and then they will say like, oh, Malay people are slow, and you slow. And they were telling me that things, you know.
wow.
And then every time, you know, this time I went back, I had the accident, a small accident, minor accident. And that guy, he went out from the car. You know the Chinese, when they out from the car, they will not smile. They will shout at you, even though it's his fault. He will shout at you and he will ask you for
Hey,
money.
That's Egypt.
Wow.
That's gonna happen.
That's also
That.
Guinea, by the way.
But by the way, I was riding a bicycle. I was riding a
my
bicycle.
God, yeah.
This guy, he made a U-turn and he hit me. And he hit me, by the way.
And he thinks you're wrong.
Yeah, he came out from the car, he was shouting, and I was like, you know what? Because I experienced accident in Malaysia. When we came out, when we like had accident, we came out, we say salam, we look at the cars. If there's no like a major damage, say okay, salam alaikum, okay, bye bye.
Yeah.
You go your way, I go my way.
Yeah.
But in China, no.
It doesn't go.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's nothing happened. So okay, I will go. Okay, and then he was like, he literally. I was like, I don't have money, but I don't have money. He was like, no, you're not going. I was like, oh, I was talking to him nicely. He don't listen. He won't listen.
Oh my god.
And I had to do it. I had to say, if you want to make a more problem, let's call the police. That's what the Malays do also.
Yeah.
It's like,
But can I tell you? But can I tell something about languages? No matter where you are, if you speak to a native person with their native language, it will always catch their heart.
They love you.
You will
Yeah.
always catch their heart.
100%.
You know.
That's what I was talking with
advice
Musta
for
last time,
Bosnians.
yeah.
I guess so, man.
No matter what you do, if you go to a native person's country and you speak his native language to him while you are the foreigner,
Yeah, that's true.
you win his heart, no
That is
matter what
very true.
happens.
Yep.
That is very
You
true.
That's why we never get the fine from
I
the
never
police.
got found in my life. I never got fined
Every
in my
time.
life in Malaysia, and I
Yeah.
drive a expired road tax.
Me too. Yeah, right.
You just confessed.
Hey, I'm going to fix it tomorrow. So by the
I'm
time
going
you're
to do
catching
it
me,
tomorrow too.
by the time you're catching me, I already have my road tax settled already. Okay?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Every time you got pulled over, they'll be like, your license, passport, AC license. And then I give them a passport. Listen, abang, tolong lah. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
they're like, what? Oh, China. Speak Malay?
Yeah.
Oh, malaf. Yeah, malaf.
Something funny that happened to me once. So for me, I don't do that. What I do is different, a little bit different. What I do is
Techniques.
So when they catch me and my road tax is finished, this is like 3-4 weeks ago.
Wow.
So
okay.
so I said he looked at me. I said, and I knew my road tax was done. You know, so he asked me, he's like, passport? I'm like, okay, here. License here. And then he looked at my road tax. Mana road tax? Where's road tax? He said in English, where's road tax? Then I took out the road tax. I gave it to him. Then he looked at the road tax. He's like, expired from 1 year ago. Then I'm like, no. He said in English, expired from 1 year ago, brother. Then I'm like, bang, actually hari tu saya dapat motor, and then motor tu macam untuk masjid, you know, the masjid motorbike, and I said that, you know, and I don't even frequently use my motorbike to go that far because there's an emergency. Then he looked at me, oh, boleh cakap bahasa Melayu. I'm like, yeah, I can speak sikit je lah, sikit je. Then he looked at me, wow. Dari mana? And then I said Guinea. I said Guinea. And then funny enough, he said, come to my house. He gave me his address.
Oh, wow.
He's a visitor.
All right.
Now that is one hell of an experience. I did not. I
Oh
was
my
not that
god.
lucky.
So mine was that.
I had a similar experience, but sadly I got fined. But I was able to get it down from 900 to 300.
Oh my god.
So it's a similar experience. Also, I got stopped over.
By the way, and this
airport.
works in any country, not only Malaysia.
Yeah.
By the way, Malaysia is like the least. Like the most country that it worked mostly was Thailand. Actually, interestingly, Thailand.
I
Yeah.
have not experienced Thailand.
Oh yeah, I've experienced Thailand. You know, I just know 5 words, and that's good to go.
That's
Yeah.
great. All right, guys, we're going to have a small break for a few minutes right now, and then after that, we will be back with more good stuff for you. And be sure to ask all the questions you'd like to ask to our guests here on my Instagram or personally on WhatsApp, whichever you guys like. Or if you guys like, you can just send it to them directly, and then they'll tell me, and then we'll ask it to them. So yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes, and stay tuned for the next one.
Is that you really?
That was not me,
Mashallah.
but Assalamualaikum everyone, and welcome back.
What up?
So we are here with the second portion of our show. The second portion of our show, we're just going to be asking a few of my questions, and then after that, we're going to be asking some of your questions. So if you guys still have any questions, just be sure to ask them on my Instagram live feed, or send them to any of our guests here, and then they'll relay it to me, whatever you guys like. So some of my own questions here. I have. I'd like to get a little bit. What's it called? I don't know. Steamy. Spicy. I don't know.
Spice it up.
Yeah, exactly. Spice it up. Exactly.
Steamy. Okay, continue.
Not the best choice of words. I agree that was not the best choice of words. So, anyways, you guys have all definitely have your experiences with culture shock and everything. So, here in Malaysia, are there any things here about the culture you guys have difficulties coping with? like you were born outside. You know, we're all. I see. Like we're all here have similar situations. We're not from here, but born outside, or from here, but
Living
wait,
outside.
No, we're not from here, born inside, or from here, born outside. So, anyways, we all have our similarities and uniqueness. So, have you guys ever had issues with something here from the Malaysian culture that you guys couldn't cope with? Zam?
I can't really think of one right now, man. Because you know when you were saying like if I ever heard someone saying bad things about me, like for me personally, I let it go immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
How
man.
about the other way around? Is there anything about the internationals here, something about
Yeah.
their culture that you just can't deal with?
that I can't deal with? I don't know, because is that
not really can't deal with, just can't stand, like you don't want to deal with?
from my perspective, no, but from my Malaysian friends, the kind of feedback that it's stuff like international students are kind of maybe too noisy or something.
Yeah, maybe too much.
I don't know, but then I don't know. Is that like,
Arabs especially.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm with you on this.
And Africans. And Africans. Both of us, man.
We Chinese, we just stay silent.
Yeah.
We just
Arabs and African. Oh, yeah,
You know,
definitely, man.
this is-
Especially the more passionate, the more louder.
but then for me, like I can kind of see like there's pros and cons. The cons is whatever, the noise. But then the pros is like the bonding between international students. That's what I see. Like between Malaysian students, imagine if you wanted to do ta'aruf and you had dancing and singing, that would probably break the ice faster than, you know, the way ta'aruf week is now. Just
Why don't you talk about your initiative, man?
what, mine?
Yeah. Zamil is doing something that is awesome. He's trying to bring internationals and locals together.
We can actually.
In 20 minutes, maybe.
No, but just in a
No,
short
it's-
version, a very short. I was
Like a
very
short
psyched
summary.
to. I was very psyched to hear about what he was doing because it was passing by. Remember?
Yeah,
He
it was
like,
before
"Mustafa,
the
I'm just-"
SRC election.
Yeah, he was like, "Mustafa, I'm just doing something small.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to bring in internationals and Malays together." I'm like, what? I've been
bring
trying to
the
think of this
ideas,
for a
bring
long
the
time.
ideas.
A really good initiative here in UIA, which is definitely needed. I can
Yeah.
tell you it
Yeah.
is definitely needed.
Yeah, so I mean, when I was running for SRC, it's like I would always see people saying, I want to internationalize Malaysia, I want to close the gap between internationals and locals. But I could never see that happening if it's just like programs or just, you know, combining Umatic and Converse together.
Exactly.
That's a bit weird. But for me, I feel like the true bonding is if Malaysians, the locals, and the internationals meet together and they need each other. So for me, the system was the buddy system.
Interdependence, basically.
Something like that. Like, so for me, the first step, when international students come here, the first face that they see will be a local. And that person will be the one that helps them. And actually, like the way it is now, I mean, I've heard a lot of things about Lim.
Yeah.
I know that he caters the Chinese students.
Mashallah.
Like what he does, that's exactly what I want to do, except let it be a local that does it. Yeah.
And both of them will be needing each other.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like I want to be, but I'll need both of you. And
Like I totally understand this because for what happens with Arab countries is they come from their countries.
Yeah.
The first thing they want to do is go, of course, to their king.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because they'll understand,
Yeah, yeah.
deal with them,
Yeah.
and then
But the issue with that, it's like, imagine if you have something personal going on. If you just keep it inside your mind, it's like the issue becomes bigger and bigger and bigger than what it actually is in reality. But when you express it to someone and they reflect it to you, they like, when you hear your own words actually, you see how small your issue is. So similarly, I would, in my mind, when Malaysians are talking about internationals behind the backs of internationals, and if internationals are talking about Malaysians, it's like we create an issue bigger in our minds than what it is in
That's
reality.
what it is.
very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, like if you and me, we talk, me and Musto, we can talk normally, but if we're not talking to each other, it's like we have stigmas of each other.
Yeah.
Because we don't
Yeah.
meet.
that
We
is
won't
Yeah.
open
that
up.
is very true.
Yeah, yeah.
They say if you leave an empty space, it's always negative
Yeah, yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah.
But you gotta begin the positive. You gotta take action to have a positive thought. You cannot be like, okay, hopefully a positive thought will come in my brain. Impossible.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you have a space, it's always negative thought coming in.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no possibility for a
That's
positive thought
That's a
to
good
come.
point right there.
So yeah, talking about his initiative, bro. I really love you for that. Like
Yeah.
you know, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, but I
And,
mean, it's
you know,
moving quite slowly actually. But so far, the first step is that we've officiated the Iium Buddies Club, but now we need to set up the the structure of it and the programs.
Yeah.
Well, slowly
So
but
inshallah.
surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's
I
happening,
mean-
that's positive already.
The hope for me is that it's not just it's not even an SRC thing. As in, it's set up now, separate from the SRC, and it's supposed to continue after
man.
after I graduate,
Yeah,
inshallah.
that's-
That's what's going to happen.
Actually, sometimes the language barrier is a
Oh yeah,
problem as
for
well.
sure.
Yeah, that's
Because I can see that because I'm trying to bring Chinese to go with the internationals.
Yeah.
Somehow. Chinese is like a Malaysians.
Okay.
Here in UAE, they don't go with peoples.
Yeah, true, true.
As long as I had my friends, like some of my friends, I'll force them to go for like
International.
programs,
Um,
linguistic
That's
or
actually a
whatever.
very good move.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem.
It's because they don't want to join it. Actually, most of the Chinese they don't speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They feel shy to speak English.
Well, I understand, but the only way they're gonna get better at it,
You
To
Just
speak
to
it up,
practice
but,
it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, like, you have to be uncomfortable,
Yes.
and that's the only way to grow. There's no any other way.
going
People
outside
look
the
for.
comfort zone.
It's funny, yeah. And the thing is, how do you get muscles? Through push-ups, and you have to be uncomfortable. I know, right? But
No, wait, how do you get
but-
that? By eating.
no, but to prove a point is,
Yeah, yeah.
you have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
Even a language, you want to learn language, you have to be uncomfortable, and people don't understand it anyway. And when they get stressed, they don't realize that it's part of the process. They just feel like it's my life. Like I'm gonna be like this for the rest of my life. And as much as I try my best to do in UIA, as much as I meet any people in UIA, most of the students are stressed out, especially Selpa students. They feel like they're never gonna learn English while they are learning English. You know, and then when you see them in level 6, funny, from level 1 to level 6, they still feel like they don't speak English.
That's actually a problem.
You know?
A lot of my friends come to me is like how do I learn? Like I'm learning English in Selpad, but I don't feel like
That's the thing.
anything
you
better.
know.
I tell them, simple thing: go join programs with internationals, learn the language.
You go.
Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And that's what my dad did. Funny enough, I woke up.
That's
in
what
the
you
morning-
did, man.
Yeah, that's what I did. But something crazy ever. The way how I learned Arabic. My dad,
Yeah.
in the morning, he just woke up. He said, "You guys are going to Saudi school." He woke up. We were going to international school. He woke up in the morning. Said, "You guys are going to Saudi school."
Okay.
Me and Muhammad's like, Dad is joking, man. You know, Daddy just says this stuff. Dad is joking, man. Definitely joking. Guys, Dad is joking. We're going in the car. We're sitting down in the car. My sisters are with us in the car. I'm wearing my uniform to school, just like a regular day. Regular day. We reach the school. Like, okay, that is just joking. Yeah, alhamdulillah, I know. We're leaving the car. My sisters leave the car. Me and my brother, we're leaving the car. We're the last ones. My dad is like, stay in the car. We're going to Saudi school. But Dad, I have to say, Dad, I want to say bye to my friends. I want to say bye to them. Say bye to them later. Tomorrow or someday you'll meet them. We're going to Saudi school.
Oh.
That was the day I learned Arabic. That was the day. So you know what happened? We reached the school. Something crazy. We reached the school. Nobody could speak English. Nobody. Zero.
Yeah.
There was only one student, and that became my best friend no matter what. There was only one student who's now in UIA who could speak English. And his English was broken, but Habibi, that's enough, man. That was enough for me. And that was it. He just put me in the pot, the steaming pot of Arabs. You know? The steaming pot of Arabs, and I had to learn Arabic. There was no any other option. And imagine, imagine being with Arabs like that in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know how it feels like? Oh my God. And that was it. And I was crying back home every single day for the next 6 months. And I learned Arabic in the next 6 months.
Well, at least you got.
Yeah.
You got a bit,
You know?
right?
So that was it, you know?
Well, okay. I want to ask Lim.
Alright,
Same question.
okay.
What do you like and dislike, or like what is it here about either the Malays or the internationals? What is it? What's that thing that you can't stand it?
Alright,
You have to sit up for this one. Huh?
yeah. No, I need to think actually. About the Malaysians, it's like sometimes they close-minded. Most of the time, actually. Especially when you were in Kelantan, you see people are so close-minded. Like you actually try to explain something, they understand what you explain, but they don't want to accept
They
it.
reject it.
Most of it. That's why I cannot stand the Malays there. I have a lot of friends. Alhamdulillah, the friends are still with me. The Malays, back to the high schools, they are open-minded. They understand what is going on, what's happening. They are the only open-minded Malaysians that I ever met in my life so far.
What about Zam here?
No,
I'm not Malaysian.
He's not Malaysian. Yet. Alright? There are some of Malaysians, but they they open, but I never met. Maybe there is, but I've never bumped up with them.
Okay.
So about the internationals, they are too much open-minded.
That's
Yes,
actually
yeah.
a problem. I
They are
can
too
relate.
much open-minded. Sometimes it just make you like too much open-minded, which make you think that, for example, the Earth is flat. You know?
Okay then.
No, I mean like
Well,
that's not a good way to
Yeah.
express it, but
I
it's just
understand.
like
Sometimes it's a bit
too
extreme.
open-minded when you try to make them understand these things.
Okay.
They will talk to you about that things.
Ah.
They will go that side. They will come, and then it's just too much. It's just too much to take it. Especially some of the people who, like study in the international schools. Mostly the people who study international schools.
Yeah, I see
They
where you're
think
going
that
with
they
this.
have this Western mentalities.
Yeah.
They got that Western mentalities that like women and men are equals, and
I see.
something like that.
Oh my God, we're going to we're starting one of the biggest.
Yes, yes.
That should be your next topic.
topics. Oh my God.
No,
Oh,
I mean,
think we should talk about that one
sometimes
day.
it's like that,
Yeah,
Sometimes
one
it's
day,
just
like, create an episode for that. I think that's a good
equality.
episode.
Holy.
No,
God.
like just maybe to compare in terms of like Islamically and then Westerny, which one is
Yeah,
better?
yeah.
Like you go analysis, go more.
What
like,
I mean
research
here
and all.
is like I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, like women and men is equal. I'm saying is women are more special than men in some things. you know.
Everybody has their own specialty.
Everybody has their own specialty. You won't. There's no. You can't be equal. You can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
women are not men, men are not
I'm
women.
not
Yeah,
talking about this
exactly,
topic. Let's stop this topic and we're gonna talk next time. Inshallah, if there's another chance. So yeah, that's what my opinion about Malaysians and local. By the way, Malaysians, and the other thing that I don't like it is that they. Can I say it?
I don't
Is
know.
it a good thing to say?
I don't
Whisper,
know.
whisper.
Burp a lot.
They're what?
They burp a lot.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's something I noticed.
I mean, sometimes
Zamil was like something I noticed.
I
That's so weird to say something I hate, but he said something I noticed. You know?
Wait, that's something. No, that's so weird.
Response, bro.
That's so weird. We're in class. My friend tells me, "Oh, I have a crush on that girl." That girl over there in front of us. Then he burps in class. I'm like, what? What are you doing? For me, that's not normal. Why would you burp with your mouth open?
I feel like sometimes they talk to each other by burping. The good things that, you know what, I try to talk to my friends about it. And actually one time I was in class, the Malay guy was sitting beside me. Wallahi al-azim, I'm not lying. Uqsum billah, I'm not lying, okay? He burping, he started burp, starting from this class until the end. I don't know, he has a lot of gas in his body. Like, Wallah, I cannot focus. I turned to him, I said, yo, can you stop burping? You know what he told me? He actually is I know him, You know what he told me? It's like, if I burp only, then it's not good. If I burp, I said, Alhamdulillah, then it's a good thing. I was like, what? It's like my mind is...
That doesn't make
it doesn't make the smell better.
Yuck.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
I feel it. Actually, this is a complaint that a lot of
Because
internationals.
it's like different standards. They don't know.
I hope the Malaysians out there don't hate
But
me.
I feel like, okay, am I the only one? I feel like they don't notice. They don't
Yeah.
know that
They
it's
don't-
bad.
For them, they don't think it's a bad
yeah,
thing.
they
I
don't think it's a bad thing,
It's
yes.
simple because they have grown
Yeah,
this is their culture. They
yeah,
have
it's a
grown
culture.
up to believe that it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's a true culture shock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. This is actually one of the biggest culture shocks that internationals do experience here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone burps and you look at them, but the rest of the class just continues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
He'll be like, did he just? The lecturer's like, by the way, anyway, so yeah, continue. Wait, wow, yeah. That's
Actually,
really-
sometimes the lecture burp.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Once, I was also, I found this very strange. Once I was in a mall also, and then this guy was, standing right next to me on the escalator. I can't really do much on an escalator.
Okay.
And it was I swear, for, the entire duration, it's burp,
Oh my goodness.
burp. And then he turns around and burp. Just face forward and burp, okay? I'm not, you don't really have to face me and do that.
The worst parts when you see a mashallah, beautiful woman standing right there. You're just appreciating her beauty, the Allah's
Appreciating
creature.
God's
And then she
creation.
start burping. That's like no, to the no.
Sinking in his clothes.
All right.
I mean, Musto, sir.
I'm about to die. Yeah.
I want to hear your inputs on this. What?
Okay, so for me, okay.
Internationals and locals.
So of course there are some things that hit me personally, and there are some things that hit me. But I have a different opinion on this, by the way.
Okay.
But before I hit on it, of course there are some things that I dislike because I have a personal culture.
Okay.
And my personal culture is the Mandingo culture. You know, that's the culture I grew up with. That's the culture. Like when I call my personal culture, is the culture that I grew up with. So at home, my mom was treating me in a Mandingo fashion. So we ate Mandingo food. We ate Guinean food.
Okay.
My mom hit me like my Mandingo. We took shower. You know, culture like principles like values, not principles like values were also Guinean.
Okay.
So that's why I consider myself like a Guinean culture, a Guinean culture oriented basically.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I kind of I kind of want to take a different route on this, because I feel like people, especially like us in the international circle, we don't understand one thing. We always, personally, we like to say that there are things that are good and bad, instead of saying things that are different.
Yeah.
Okay, so in Malaysia here, what is good and bad is actually what is bad to you might be different to another different. It might be different to another culture.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
might be another culture's norm,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So having the concept or having the way of thinking that people are different, and not only that, cultures are different. You have a better context into it. You know. So that's why when anything uncomfortable, let's say not anything bad, and anything uncomfortable to me happens, I see it as different. That's why I'm okay with everybody.
That's a very good
You
way
know,
to put it. Yeah.
that's why I'm okay with everybody, no matter what you do in your culture. And this thing, Afghans, subhanallah, very interestingly, Afghans, it just came up in my brain just now. They take bread, they put it in rice, and then they put meat inside that bread.
Bread, okay, bread.
The bread will be acting like your hand.
Oh.
They put it in rice, and then the meat and then the stew is all inside the same inside the
So
bread.
the bread is like the spoon.
Yes, and then the bread is the one that goes in alongside with the rice and the meat and the stew in your mouth. The first time I saw this, I was like, what? Like I was like, what? Because we are like, okay, what is this?
Yeah.
Especially if an Arab sees this, AHMAD, you know, they'll be going crazy, right? What is this? Malayu will be like, apa ni? Ni, astagfirullah, apa ni? Apa ni? Tak boleh tengok ni. Macam mana letak roti dengan nasi ni?
Let's go to Malaya.
Yeah, they can be like that. Guinean, even worse, man.
I have no idea what
Yeah. So, Guinean even worse. We'll go crazy. Hey, we'll go crazy, you know? We go crazy. What is this, you know?
Yeah.
That itself, you know? But Afghans will see it as something normal.
Yeah, of course.
And even more important, in a physical aspect, Afghans live in the mountains. That's why they need more calories.
Yeah.
So whatever they put in the mouth, bread and rice is the most dense carbohydrates in the whole food chain. So interestingly, it makes sense that they eat that kind of way, you know?
Definitely.
So in my mind, I see it as different. I see it as different. So any different culture I see in my mind, any different culture, anything that is uncomfortable to me, anything that is good to me, I'm like, this is different. And what can I learn from it?
Yeah.
What can I take from it? You know, what can I take from the Malaysian culture? Okay, this is something that I'm sure we all can share. The Malaysian culture. What is cool about them? This is number one.
Okay.
They know how to respect people.
Yeah, that's true.
Respect, they have it number one in the world. I can say Malaysians have the respect number one in the world. If I had to compare it to other different cultures.
I would say Japan.
Japan first,
Japan?
yeah. I would
Okay,
say
I've never seen
Japan
Japanese.
first,
Sorry. Based on my scenes, like I've never seen Japanese people, but I would say Malaysians so far respect in terms of the way how you shake people, in terms of the way how you pass by people, in terms of the way how you talk to people. I think sense to me, I would say they have respect.
Yeah.
That's why when I go and meet my grandparents in my country, they'll be like, "This boy is so respectful," you know. So it feels the rest of the world in my circle feels it. That's number one.
Okay.
In my country, in terms of passion, expression of passion, or Arabs expression of
We're
passion.
very passionate people.
We're very passionate.
Quote unquote passionate.
Oh my God! And even similarly to Spanish people. Have you ever seen Spanish people talking?
Because the only thing differentiating us is just.
It's just a
brown
C.
tongue.
It's just a
Yeah.
C. But it's mostly passionate. They're very passionate and they talk through emotions. For example, when they go to the coffee shop, let me tell you a very interesting story. A Spanish man told me this, and the way how he speaks. Okay, I might mix it up with French accent, but the whole concept is like this.
Okay.
He says, "Man, have you been to Juan Valdez? Juan Valdez, the feeling of Juan Valdez, the word Juan Valdez makes you feel amazing. You know, when I went inside the coffee shop, oh my God, the smell made me feel happy. I feel very happy when I smell Juan Valdez. Juan Valdez, the coffee shop, I was so happy when I was inside. Then they gave me the coffee. I drink the coffee. When I drink the coffee,
So
I felt very happy, but very sad. But it was happy and sad, but at the same time, it was happy. It was happy. It was very happy. And then,
With the hand.
and then,
Italian.
yeah,
Sorry.
and then I looked at my friend. I'm like, "Did you feel this? Did you feel this?" He said, "Yes, I feel happy also. I feel very happy also." And then I had a Malay friend sitting, "Apa benda ni?" What is this guy doing, man? You know, they're less expressive, they're less passionate. You know,
less expressive.
less
We
expressive,
actually
less
studied
passionate.
that in
You know,
communication,
so that's very interesting for me to see. I see it as different, but I'm like, wow. When I'm explaining anything about passion next time, I'm gonna be Spanish, man. I'm gonna be Spanish.
They
You know,
definitely can
yeah.
be
You know,
very passionate in those
you know.
the usage of
Oh my
hands,
God,
gestures, and
you know?
vocal tones.
But
and everything.
Malaysians will be like, what is this guy doing?
They're
You
a
know,
lot more calm.
exactly, a lot more calm. So that's why I like to see things as different. And take the good and bad out of each, you know. So yeah.
We have. I don't know how, but we're actually at the.
Oh my
end of our show.
God.
There was a
Sorry,
Q&A.
this is
fast.
too long. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was like a first. You know,
Okay, I want because someone asked this question. I definitely don't want people to think that I'm going to ignore them. So we're going to just do this really quick
Yeah.
for the few minutes. So anyone can answer this one, or you guys can answer all together. I don't mind.
3, 2, 1.
So the question is: do you think people have the responsibility to learn about the culture or customs before they travel, or just YOLO?
yeah.
I don't think you have to, but clearly from their stories, there's huge benefits from it. Because it shows, I think, respect and love. Because they took the time to learn the language, so as a result, they get the benefits from the locals. So it's better for you if you do make the effort.
Good answer.
Yeah,
Language?
same with
Is it language?
no the culture.
Culture and customs
Culture.
before they travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you should like at least know something about it before you travel, because if you do something like when you go to that country you did something that they don't like it, it must be there's something problem happens,
Definitely,
you
yeah.
know. Definitely, so you should know about it.
Basically, you're avoiding culture shock.
Yes, somehow like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag
I think the 5 principles will all be related to the rest of people in the world. The 5 principles is related to the whole world. If you're kind, everybody will know that you're kind in the world.
Yeah.
So just be kind wherever you go in the world. If you're just and fair and honest, if you're fair, if you're helping people on the road, if you know those 5 things, like I said, those 5 things: honesty, fairness, contribution as in service, helping people. What else?
Respect. love.
Respect, yes, respect, and then kindness, the last one.
I think you said kindness twice, but
Okay, so one of those 5
Kindness is very
I mentioned
important,
in the
okay?
beginning. I'm sure I mentioned in the beginning, and it's all universal. The whole world will know it that you're using. So just emphasize on that more, and you're good to go. You know?
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for coming today.
Alright.
Thank you for taking the time, and thank you viewers for tuning in and watching our show. Be sure to tune in next Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. as well for
Gender? Just joking.
I don't know, we'll see. Just tune in and you'll find out. Like the thing about my show, I don't really.
All right,
tell
let's talk about the women's and men equality.
Gender. Let's go.
Tune in for the next one, guys. So you can find out. Thank you so much for coming, and
Inshallah.
see you again next time. Inshallah.
Thank you for
Alright.
having
Thank you,
me.
Ahmed.
Thank you.
Guys.